Uh, so before we go into creating our custom functions, okay, we use libraries, okay, that is inbuilt into Python first. So to get a hang of how you can use functions. Of course, we already use functions like print, okay, where we can some text onto the user's terminal. So this is one of the earlier functions that we have already been using. And of course, we also have created uh, the callback function in our buttons. Also, these are some of the things that you probably have been accustomed to using already. So now we are going to use some inbuilt libraries. Okay, so the first thing is to import. Okay, this is similar to what we have been doing for the tinter. Okay, remember we have an import tinter in the previous class. Okay, so this is to allow us to get all the information under this library so that we are able to use them. Okay, so before we use any of the functions um, available in math, okay, we need to import them first. Okay, so let's remove this. Okay, so example, now I have a value 64. Okay, and I wish to find out what is the square root of this. It is quite difficult for us to know how to uh, do a square root. Okay, so the easiest way is that we use the math library, okay, and the function it provides. So before even we go into using the function, you can see that there are so many different uh, functions and methods. So you can see uh, the letter here means that it is a function. Okay, the v is a variable. Okay, so this gives you some idea of what these are. Okay, so there's a lot of different functions that is already pre-built. Of course, you can install new ones. Okay, if you can't find something that you need over here. Okay, since we already know what to use. Okay, so it's the square root. So likewise, square root, and you give a value. Okay, so we'll use the x here. Okay, of course, it's always good to put a variable to store the value, and we can print out, okay, which is another function that we use to print stuff. Okay, so the result. Okay, so what it does is that now I'm going to this particular library here to find out the to get one of its functions that it provides square root, okay, and use it. Okay, so actually I don't really know how the square root is done. I'm just simply using it, okay, to help me solve this problem. Okay, so let's try it out. Python 3. Okay, and functions is our found in for this page, and we will get 8. Of course, there are other ones. Okay, so let's say um, I have I want to find the ceiling. Okay, so I have this here. Okay, then I can use my result. Okay, and then I will pen it here so that I can print out this value as well. Okay, so of course let's do some other numbers so that okay, there will be a difference in the number. So we can run this again. Okay, so this will give us 8.18 something something, and then they will round up to the nearest whole number. Okay, lastly, we can also use what we have discussed in lecture, which is to use the constant pi. Okay, so we have the circle, area of circle. Okay, there we use, okay, so our functions is pi r square. Okay, so of course, I'm not going to remember what the entire pi value of pi is, so I'm just going to use this constant here. Okay, then I'm going to times my number here, okay, which is the ceiling. Okay, remember we can use the exponential with the double asterisk, so we square this number. So once again, let's print this out as well. So here we get this value of 254.469, okay, which is the area of the circle. Okay, this is from when my x is 67.